His name is Hanson Cheng, and he is from the TYRE Collective.
So yeah, I can kind of just give you a bit of overview of what we do at the TYRE Collective. So I'm Hanson. I'm one of the four co-founders of the TYRE Collective, and what we're building now is a retrofittable device to capture tire wear. So we started this project looking at microplastics at large, and it was during our second year master's program at the Royal College of Art and Imperial College, and we came across tire wear, and it was something that we didn't really know much about. And the more we researched, we found that tire wear is actually the second largest microplastic pollutant in our oceans, and it's also a form of air pollution. So it's a form of air PM pollution, which we inhale these particles and it can lead to heart and lung diseases. And there's the implications of it as microplastics in our oceans. And we realized quite early on that there was a kind of a lack of awareness on this issue as well as solutions to tackle it. So through kind of this 3 months, we created a proof of concept to demonstrate that we can use electrostatics and airflow to capture tire wear at source and are developing a product to create a device that's attached to a wheel. So it's capturing these tire particles as it's produced. And just kind of since the Mayor of London Environment Award and some other recognition we have had a pretty successful kind of PR campaign, which allowed us to not only raise public awareness on tire wear, our company profile, as well as our mission, and it also connected us to a lot of customers. So before we did the Mayor of London, we have started already kind of reaching out to our potential customers. So TfL and different kind of vehicle manufacturers and tire manufacturers. And I think a lot of what the Mayor of London helped is kind of solidify us as kind of a valid, um, almost like a valid business in some ways to and really approach them again and they reach out to us through kind of seeing some of the posts and we have now we're collaborating with some of them to develop our device, and in parallel we're also trying to contribute to ongoing research. This is very much a developing field, and we get emails asking us for different tire particles to analyze, and it's been great to kind of reach out to everyone else out there that's working on tire wear and trying to further our understanding and working with them. And in terms of the Mayor of London pitch, I think this year would also be a virtual pitch in some ways, and you'll have to record yourself. I would say to keep it simple and kind of also make it fun. So, we use this prop, this cube here, to demonstrate this is how much one bus produces in 24 hours. And that was a good reference point for someone who doesn't really know what tire wear is. And also within these 2 minutes, have a tagline. So that's through the Mayor of London pitch is when we came up with the phrase "Save our air from tire wear," and that really stuck. And it kind of quickly established what we're doing and who we are in just a few words. I would say also to make it fun, we had we had one person pitch. It's a 2 minute pitch. I would just have one person pitch, and so Siobhan, one of our co-founders, pitched, and we had this kind of idea of like hands coming in and giving her the cube and giving her like this letter that we received from TfL. And at one point, when we're talking about the team, we decided it'd be funny for all of us to just kind of jump into the camera, and that moment was a lot of was really what a lot of the judges remembered. We have Ed and Mark telling us, what they remember most was us jumping into the camera and saying hello in this pitch. So I would definitely make it fun, make it yours. And yeah, I mean, we didn't have a lot of the things developed, and I think having this kind of condensed pitch definitely made us kind of consolidate our thoughts and really get to the core of what our business is and what our idea is.
Kristen wants to know how you ensured the design was protected before you applied to the competition.
Yeah. So we actually worked with Innovation RCA early on before we even launched the project to the public back in last January. So we submitted a patent application beforehand. Um, and that was something that we wanted to do. You don't really have to patent the application before going through this contest or competition. But if you think there's something that's patentable, then I would definitely kind of pursue that route or think about that before you make it public. Because once you make it public, it would hinder your chance of getting a patent as well.
The follow-up question to that from Kristen still is whether you have raised funding.
Yeah, so we've received kind of initial investment through competition wins. We've also secured, since the competition, we've also secured an Innovate UK grant, which has been helping us to fund our R&D stage. And we're actually starting our first funding round now to get further investment.
What was your step just after the competition? Like, did you have people or investors approaching you? Did you have to get in touch with someone? How basically just the step from the winning the competition to where you are now?
Yeah, we definitely had investors reaching out to us. A lot of people within industry, so tire manufacturers, vehicle manufacturers, and different operators who have seen the pitch reach out because this is something that they have been thinking about or are cared about for a while.
What would you advise this year's applicants to avoid?
In many ways, I think we over prepared or over rehearsed the pitch a bit. I would maybe like it was quite rigid in some points, but I think kind of you have. I think what you need within this 2-minute pitch is kind of a backbone of what you're going to say, and whether the words are exactly what you've written. I don't think it kind of matters as long as you get the idea across. I think that's what's most important. Yeah, I definitely think out of the workshop, what was most important was defining the value proposition, and that's something that you don't really do when you're pursuing your project as a school project. You're developing it as kind of a project, but when you really think about the value proposition and what it brings to potential customers, that's when it kind of transitions from a project to a business. So really forming those that one line, a 1 to 2 line, we serve XYZ for the purpose of XYZ. So I think defining that, and there's multiple value propositions, but ultimately we chose what we thought made the most sense, given the Mayor of London competition and whatnot. And yeah, I think the value proposition, and today we even use that same value proposition today. So, and it's like kind of a quick way to get across who you are, what you're doing, why. Yeah, so well, I guess we started this project with the 4 of us, and today it's still the 4 of us. But there was when we started this project, it was within our cohort, and find the people that you can work with, and also find people who complement your skill sets or have skills that you don't have. I used to work in architecture, and someone once told me, when you start an architecture firm, don't find another architect, find someone in business. So that's kind of the same idea here. So my background is in design, so I found engineers to help and as co-founders. So don't find people with the same skill set as you, I guess, in some ways, and bring something new to the table.
Okay, good.